Okay, so this is going to be Dark Night of the Soul recording number 3. Welcome. I hope that you get something out of this that's going to help you during your transformation process. Aquarius is going to be going through this process, and you guys may be experiencing it already. Dark Night of the Soul is a part where transformation takes place, but old things pass away. And as old things pass away, what happens is that there is emotional challenges that come. Here we can find that, um, depression, sadness, anxiety are typical emotional states. The eternal struggle and suffering can feel relentless and unending. From my experience, I can say that once you realize where you are, because there's an ongoing sadness or feeling of depression and anxiety, it's like surrender to what you're having to deal with. Surrender to the fact that you are in a cycle of change and you can't go back to who you were, because now you're experiencing emotions ongoing that you've never had ongoing. They can make you feel like, oh my God, is my life coming to an end? But it's not. It's an ending to an old you. I was teaching in my class with Neptune at 29 degrees that there is an ending from 1800s to now concerning Neptune, the planet, which means that if Neptune actually was a man, he would say, okay, I got to let go of all of these things. I'm at a point right now in my life where I've got to let go of things that don't serve me anymore or do not cause me to grow, and my personality. And your personality is being reshaped by the dark night of the soul. The feelings won't be forever. So spiritual and existential aspects, answering the call of God, is a part of the dark night of the soul. Many people find that during their dark night of the soul, they are drawn closer to God or spiritual calling. This period can lead to a deepening of faith and spiritual awareness. And why is this? Because you have feelings ongoing that you've never had before, such as depression and sadness, and you're aware of it. You could have been depressed before, but you weren't aware of it. Now you're aware, you feel it because it's persistent. And the only way to get a peace within yourself is ongoing prayer. Why? Or meditation. Why? Because higher consciousness is calling you and I through this experience. This period can lead to a deepening of faith. That means that after you surrender and you start feeling, um, I would say, better, you realize that this too shall pass. It's a process, but the process leads you to another place in life that you haven't experienced. Like, in order to have joy, you have to have pain. In order to have, emotions of depression, you've got to look at the fact that happiness has to come back. Unhappiness, happiness. All of this is how life works. You got to experience a down in order to be lifted up. You have to experience a up and then come down. Everyone goes through it. All right. So experiencing hell on earth, the intense suffering can feel like a descent into hell. I mean, it's really parallel to, what happened to Jesus on the cross or what we read about. He descended into hell to find out about himself, to strengthen himself, and also to show forward that we could also overcome this descent into hellish feelings or thinking, hellish situations. People will experience seeming losses, they may not figure out how to get their money intact until they went through certain situations that make them feel like, wow, I'm never going to have money again. And those are examples. But you will have money again. It's you looking at the reality of your spiritual man and saying, okay, I need to start from the spiritual concept or the spiritual hierarchy within me, and then go back to understanding the material, because we've been taught backwards. We were taught to materialize through working at a physical level when we should be manifesting through our spirit. And this is what Dark Night of the Soul will bring us to, resolutions of understanding that we've been working and toiling like slaves. And that's just an example. All right, so um, connection with Jesus and the cross. Some people feel a deep connection with Jesus, the suffering, or the deity that you may have been raised up with, because we're raised in different locations in the world. We have different deities that have been presented to us. I don't want anybody to get upset because I call it deity, but Jesus said that I am my Father one. He said that he never said that he was God, you know. Um, I believe that there's something to think about. Psalms 81 will bring us to an understanding of some things. You can read Psalms 81. We're all in this playground of the gods. If God is our Father, then we must grow up to be gods and goddesses, because the father and mother are duplications of what we are to come into. And so the connection can provide comfort and sense of shared suffering and redemption. The cross, it crosses out who we used to be so that we can come into more. I was just teaching them that your personality at 5 years old should not be your personality at 50 or 60 years old. You should have grown, which means that you've went through some type of hell situations or cross situations that told you you had to grow, which meant that you had to learn how to become more, in your personality and your characteristics have, heightened. Understanding darkness, going through the dark night of the soul can lead to a deeper understanding of oneself and the nature of suffering. You gain compassion. I'm here to tell you, you gain a sense of understanding that your journey is different from others. You judge less after you really get full-fledged into it. You do have compassion and love for people unconditionally. You stay away from people that actually judge and they can't understand others, that they're always questioning, why'd you do this and why'd you do that? You learn to stay away from that because you want to stay in the mindset of non-judgment. It often results in a more compassionate and empathetic outlook on life. It really does. I feel like it's a beautiful experience, but while in it, if you don't know what you're experiencing, it could be tumultuous and it can make you feel like you're losing your mind, but you're not. Transformation and growth emerging stronger. Although the dark night of the soul is a period of intense suffering, it can lead to profound personal growth and transformation. Emerging from this period often brings a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. I want to say that some people can emerge during the dark night of the soul and they can feel like they're sick, like they're never going to get better. But the idea of the dark night of the soul is to plunge into God, the word, prayer, everything spiritual that you can, so that you can believe that healing is possible or that your financial positioning can get better. You want to just put yourself immersed in the waters of prayer and spirituality so that you can navigate through the dark night of the soul, because it's about your soul transformation. It's at a level that many cannot understand, and that's why people, they will get seemingly sick, or they'll experience seeming losses, or they will have mental issues, seemingly only for a time for them to surrender and give way to the divine. So, new perspective, the insights gained during this period can change your perspective on life, helping you to appreciate the deeper meaning behind your experiences and challenges. The Dark Night of the Soul is a powerful and transformative experience that, while deeply painful, it can lead to profound personal transformation and a renewed sense of connection to the divine. I can just tell everyone that I went through, it seemed like all 12 aspects. If you looked at all of the houses, all 12 aspects, it seems like I lost in all those areas, but I gained because coming out, I've gained a new sense of awareness. I've gained a sense of independence. I've gained an understanding of happiness for myself and not trying to make others happy. Ongoing, how to manage my life from home to family, and across the board. So this, I hope it helps you. If you need any help, reach out. Blessings and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye-bye.